During the municipal election campaign, I'm going to be speaking one-on-one with the Montreal mayoral candidates. Today, I'm at Messorum Bracatorium, and I'm chatting with Craig Sauvé over a beer. Nice to see you again.
So nice to be here. Thanks for coming.
So this is a big jump for you from city councillor running for mayor of Montreal. You want to shake up the campaign and redefine it. So tell me, how are you going to do that?
Absolutely. I mean, this party, the idea was that we needed a new voice in Montreal. And the two older parties, there was a lot of bickering and, systematic opposition coming from them and not a lot of working together. So, when we decided to launch this party, to launch this new movement, it was to try to offer new ideas, new spaces, and to provide nuance into this debate. So we didn't want it to be just black and white because things aren't that simple. If I'm elected mayor, I will construct an executive committee made up of members of all the parties. I want to bring them around the table. We're facing many crises right now in Montreal. We're facing homelessness crisis, housing crisis, climate change, the greater rains we're receiving, and on the verge potentially of an economic crisis. So we have to work together. And that's the basis of Transition Montreal as well. Providing new voices, but unifying City Council and working together.
To go up against two very established parties, Ensemble Montréal and Projet Montréal, is it difficult to get noticed?
It's always hard when you're starting a new party, but I think the boldness of our ideas stick out. We talked immediately about democratic reform to really provide proportional representation and ranked ballots at the city. That's big. That would change how we govern in Montreal, and I think that speaks to a lot of people. That got noticed. We talked about taxing the ultra-rich and using that money in order to fight homelessness. And then obviously we're talking about our infrastructure. That's on the minds of all Montrealers. We think we can do a lot more internally. That means changing the tendency to privatization towards bringing stuff more in-house, doing work by our blue collars and our white collars who are qualified and will be mobilized by these projects. And internally we can do things less expensive and have more control over our construction sites.
Also in public transit, you are talking about, big plans also, extending the Green Line, extending the Orange Line. Those are ambitious projects. How do you expect to get those off the ground when, say, Valérie Plante was barely able to get the blue line extended, never got her pink line?
In uniting City Council, we're going to have to show courage and we're going to have to fight harder for Montrealers and our projects. I found us to be a little bit timid with the other governments. We've been ignored for housing, we've been ignored for homelessness, we've been ignored for the financing of our public transit. So we're going to have to fight for those projects. We're going to have to make noise. Next year, there's a provincial election, and I want Montreal's items to be on the agenda for that election.
I want to ask you about Projet Montréal. You were with the party back in 2013 when you started in municipal politics. You left the party under a dark cloud because of sexual assault allegations that emerged in the last campaign in 2021. They were investigated, no charges were ever laid. Valérie Plante brought it up this week in a news conference saying that you wanted to go back to Projet Montréal, but that you couldn't go back to the party because of those allegations. What do you make of that?
Firstly, I think it's important to give the context too on that. There is one allegation, and it's one conflict I have with one person that I divulged to the party in 2016 when I learned about it. And they did a third-party investigation that satisfied the mayor in 2018. There was, following that, a police investigation, and that was also resolved, and that satisfied the mayor. And she signed my candidacy forms in 2021. She signed my candidacy forms twice, in full knowledge of that allegation. And when the allegation came, I tried to deal with it in the most respectful and honest and transparent manner that I could. I do believe in the feminist Me Too movement. I do believe that women have to be listened to. All victims of sexual abuse have to be listened to. And so I participated wholly and honestly in that process. I tried to do this right, and I defended myself. And yeah, I was in negotiations with them for some time. But at the end of the day, there was a couple of positions that I didn't want to defend in this upcoming election. I really don't think the way that Projet Montréal treated people experiencing homelessness was on a basis of human rights. I think it was really awful. The forced evictions of homeless people with nowhere to go without giving them another solution was completely unacceptable to me. Still allowing street checks, which I think is also abusive of people's human rights. At the end of the day, I pulled the plug on my negotiations with Projet Montréal, because I was more inspired by what Transition Montréal and that team we were thinking of going.
Craig, thank you so much, and I wish you the very best in
Thank you
this
so much,
campaign.
Deborah. Cheers.
Best of
Cheers
luck.
on that.
Oh, that's pretty tasty.
That sorghum's good. Sorghum's good.